Thank you for joining us. I am Russ Hatfield, along with my twin soul Kara, who is an ambassador of Sirius and higher dimensional member of Ashtar Command. September's editorial is a little analogy we thought encompassed much of what's been on our mind lately. We finally put it into words and call it the game of all games. For a full transcript of this latest editorial, please go to our main homepage at HadesBaseNews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings from our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. And now we present the game of all games. It was easily over 10,000 hours of game time he had spent on this game. It had become his existence, and he had been getting very frustrated before today. The game was designed so that at the end of an hour of game time, a boss would appear and kill you no matter what it seemed. During the hour before that, the player would gather the resources that may just beat the boss and move on from this level. That, though, never seemed to happen. Fighting with all his might, and with all of his upgraded gear and weapons, the boss always beat him down his life force until he expired and had to start all over again. That wasn't the worst part. He also lost all of his gear, coins, and most importantly, the legendary weapons he had acquired. It was worth it, though, because the game provided a real-world feel and scenarios that kept him engaged. Sometimes it was a relief to start brand new, but with a little more information each time to make the challenges easier. In response, it seemed, the game changed his stats back to 0 each time and assigned him a new body to make it even more challenging. He would have to sometimes patiently explain to the male players that he was also a male and didn't have time for those tired pickup lines. The weaker body frame presented a whole new set of dynamics he had to work with instead of brute strength. No other games he had played came close to the realism offered by the Game Master, so it would be with a resigned sigh that, as death after the hour was over, that he assessed whatever body he now had and started working on a strategy to defeat the boss this time. Almost naked in some new part of the game landscape with all new parameters to face, here he would go again. The only thing that made the game both easier and interactive were his teammates. It was his crew he could rely on with each new iteration of the game. The roles would change each time, and it was the reacquainting himself with his old team that made the respawn process bearable. Sometimes, some of them would be there as he opened his eyes for the first time, to take in his surroundings and rely on them to start the process of regearing for what was to come. Others appeared at rearranged times to help him through some crucial task. Collectively, they grew smarter together in preparation for facing the final opponent. As each hour progressed, seemingly weeks, months, and even years passed by in real time, yet by the end of every hour the time had just flown. Until now, he finally had reached the next level and moved on. The first thing he noticed was the lack of any of his crew to greet him. What did greet him was a message from the Game Master that explained the new parameters of this level. The use of coins, weapons, and armor were no longer needed because now, instead of being a solo player, everyone was on the same team and the challenges going forward would be mental. With the new level came new advantages he loved right away. He had 3 hours before he had to face the boss and new abilities to master. Done with the reading, he looked up and saw a player with an older-looking avatar. Let's stop by and see if you need any help. He told the man he was just relieved to finally make it here after 10,000 hours of trying. The old man smiled in a knowing way and said, "Son, each one of those hours represented a life you lived, which is why the game is called Incarnation. Welcome home." In love, light, and wisdom as one, Russ and Kara.